Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Yes, we continue with diagnosis. First, I want to apologize. I couldn't make the stream last night. I know it was I think I noticed this, but I was in a place that I couldn't use a phone, so I couldn't really get in touch with anyone and to tell them that at the very last minute I couldn't be streaming. So yesterday's stream becomes today's stream. Today we're going to be doing taking a look at those tactics of yours. And yeah, you want to upload those tactics. The links are in the chat right now. So welcome to the stream. Yes, today we are doing diagnosis. We're going to take a look at those tactics that you guys have. All right, now we're going to play with them and then share our thoughts. Not that we have anything intelligent to say, but maybe along the way you might pick something out that might sound intelligent. I don't know. But we've had some fun with these tactics. Some of your tactics are absolutely insane. Yeah, we've seen some crazy tactics, and I think we have a 4-4-2 in the house today. So taking a look at the tactics that you guys have sent in from Discord. So with Discord tactics, we kind of play them straight up, right? So we don't we play Discord tactics all the way. We'll let them play out for the first 45, and then after that, I funk it up a bit. Maybe I can funk it up, maybe I can't. Maybe I completely embarrass myself. Here we go. Striker combinations up to me, but one should break the lines that I hold out the ball. Okay. All right. We'll take up to me, right? So I will take one to be a target forward and one to be an advance forward. All right. So Azmoon is jumping shot 15. Okay. Let's take a look at this 4-4-2. Ball winning midfielder with a hold position in the DLP. This guy is going to play high up the pitch, so using high defensive lines. So the mid block, yeah, it should work. Inverted winger with a ball winning midfielder. Or fullback doing a natural overlap. Yeah. This tactic is fine. Hitting the early cross, using the width, as much as possible. That's what this basically says. So lots of crosses. So if you're gonna set up a tactic like this, make sure that you have players that are great in the air. We've got Tammy Abraham and we've got Azmoon. So both of them are reasonably good in the air. I think we also have Romelu Lukaku. I think in a few days' time we'll find out how this team does. 4-4-2 is excellent. I love the 4-4-2 on Football Manager. One of my best. One of the tactics I had the most fun with was a 4-4-2. The thing about a 4-4-2 is you can always adapt. You can always tweak the tactic to play with false fullbacks. The list of things that you can do with a 4-4-2 is quite impressive. There are lots of things that you can do. Plays 1-2s, tricks. Okay, that's okay. Lukaku has got shoots with pawn also. Okay, I guess if we want somebody breaking past defensive lines, knocks ball past opponent, is probably a really nice trait. Of course, this trait is a tendency to, as in all things in life, ladies and gentlemen, a tendency to do something does not necessarily mean it's going to happen all the time. Okay, so we're going to use Bowe as the, what was that again? The deep line playmaker. This guy's concentration is 11. We should find someone else, but Parides is the ball winning midfielder. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's go. Let's see how this tactic does, right? There are no PIs in this tactic, so he's playing with a mid block, so he's expecting transitions in the middle third. Step up more, looking to do a defense, squeezing that space and looking for a chance to hit on the break. This is fine. You're squeezing the space, you're trying to win the ball back. Yeah. There is no directness to the passing, which is fine. You're leaving a lot of it to your mentality and the players that you have, right? So, I think, look, 4-4-2s in a lot of shapes and forms can work quite well. But I personally like to play my 4-4-2s narrow. I do. Because I don't like my 4-4-2s to end up being totally about the cross. And, if I was an underdog side, maybe, right? Like if I was playing a team that's close to relegation, maybe I want to play a 4-4-2 with wingers on attack, and all I want to do is hit into the spaces and off they go, dropping crosses on two players' heads, and I try and score lots of goals. That can work. I did it with Everton playing a low block 4-4-2. But if you're playing against, once teams start realizing you're pretty decent on the ball, then they start sitting back, and then you have to defend. Then after that, crossing all the time just doesn't do enough. So you occasionally need to have to mix it up. So that's when my width goes to the middle. That in those kind of cases, I probably need to try and play through balls as well. So now this is a pretty good test for this tactic because it is playing against another system that is principally a wing-based attack. So it gets its wingers forward, and because you're playing a 4-4-2 bit block, those wingbacks have plenty of time to build an attack. This team can build its transition. So if you're gonna hit, it's gonna have to be, the intensity has to be higher for this tactic. So we're looking at higher tempos, maybe a higher mentality, and probably changing the passing a bit more because so far Roma have not done anything. So this tactic is pretty one-dimensional at the moment because it's only relying on crossing the ball. When you get a tactic like this, it's clear. If you're maximum width, you're using your wingers. Problem is, if you can't get at the moment, we can't get the ball to the wingers. So that 5 is winning the battle. So they are overpowering our flanks with an option of getting 3 players on the ball. So they always have 3 players. See, they always have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see this from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus our 5. It is an equal number. But once the ball goes higher, we're going to start having issues. So the ball gets in, so he has to cross the ball. So you gotta have to try and get those guys up the pitch. So you're only playing a mid block, but there's no real threat, is there? Especially for a 2-man attack against a 3-man defense. So therein lies the first problem that we have with this tactic. So there's only one outlet here on this side to actually give us a chance of having a 3-man attack. So how will I play this in the second half, knowing that I'm playing against a 5-2-2-1? We're gonna have to change things up. We're gonna have to put up. Yeah, they scored already, so there's not much time for me to turn things around because at the moment we're just allowing the AI to come at us. So in my opinion, if you're gonna be playing a 4-4-2, you have to become a master of changing things in a game. You can't play in Football Manager. I find that if you really want to be good at this game, you gotta see the situation and go, no, we're not sitting back anymore. We can't play a mid block against these guys. We gotta play in their half. Otherwise, their wing backs are gonna dictate too much of the game. So, and then okay, we're not gonna cross the ball all the time. We're gonna try and get others into play. So right now we are running into trouble because our wingers have been tracking back, trying to win. See what I mean? Like, it's just and one of the things you cannot do in this situation is play out from the back, because every time you play out from the back, your 2 midfielders are so deep they can't get up the pitch. So we struggle. We are gonna struggle. So what I'm gonna do? We're gonna make a lot of changes to this tactic. So this can't work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go inverted winger on attack as well. Now, the problem right now is that we've got so many yellow cards, and there's no point asking this guy to get involved. Okay, so it's either he's on attack or he's, all this is, this is not needed, this is not needed, this is not needed. Okay, so we can't allow them to come up the pitch. Right, step up more is great, but we can't allow them to come up the pitch. Now we've gone fairly narrow. We're not going to be playing our defense. We're not distributing center backs. We're distributing straight to the flanks. We're definitely going to be playing a bit more direct. Okay, at least this is the start, right? So we're going to get it up. We're going to get the ball up the pitch. The challenge right now is that we have a lot of yellow cards. This is not looking good. What we can do is drop this into a 2. I have to tweak the system straight away. Yeah. Okay, so these guys are going to be further. These guys are going to be back. And then we're just going to play it directly into that space. We're just going to go winger on attack. I have to switch things around. Now this becomes even more attacking into the pocket of space of it. Yeah, this 4-4-2 was it won't work. Yeah. Generally, when I play a 4-4-2, if I'm going to play a low block, there's got this mid block. Every time you play a mid block with a fullback on attack, it's the wrong tactic. Because what it does is you compressing play, but all you're doing is only having one outlet on the flanks, like a winger, And then you have this fullback who's taking part in attacks, but he's only going to be involved in the final third. So what's the point of getting him, asking him to be a fullback on attack then? So you might as well just get this guy up the pitch since you're using a ball winning midfielder and a DLP, right? So we're gonna change this to Dybala. I don't even know whether he can play in that position, but yeah, it's still an option. And we're gonna get Pellegrini to come on. Okay, the other thing we can do, okay, so this is one option, right? The other option is this. Go back to the middle. We'll play with a ball winning midfielder and a DLP. If we try and play high up the pitch. Now we got two fullbacks on support. We're gonna keep them as fullbacks on support. We're playing high up the pitch. But not because these wingers on attack, right? On an attack duty, they will be putting more pressure on. Okay, we just lost one player. We're slowly running out of players. You can't play a mid block against this tactic. Yeah, you gotta know when to change, right? So you have to be able to go, okay, fine. That tactic cannot be allowed to bring those wing backs into play, because if they do, they're overpowering your tactic, overpowering your team. Plus, your fullback is only getting involved if you're camping. So there's no point. Yeah. So, and the thing is that if you want to be defensive, then the wider you are, the harder it's going to be defensive, right? So we went narrower, and we're playing with I'm going to play with a very high tempo. I know we've conceded another goal, but so far we're making it harder for them to concede goal, to score against us. But when you see this formation, you got to play against it, and you cannot sit back. You have to attack it, because if not, it's gonna overpower your defense eventually, because they're gonna have 5 players attacking you, and there's no point playing out of defense against this tactic. So you wanna be attacking this tactic as much as you can, or at least if you're gonna, if you play out defense, you're basically just holding. Yeah, you're gonna give them a lot of time to defend, get their players back into position. So we got a penalty now. Hopefully it is a penalty. Yeah. So when we switched from the mid block and we started taking the game to them, more importantly, and we missed the penalty too. And then when we got into their third and we started keeping the ball, we kept the ball because of our narrow width. 2, I'm not telling my team to entirely use the flanks now, because they are going to have extra players on the flanks. They're extra players because they've got the 2 centrally placed AMs who can passing options to the wingback. So the wingback can just go past your team here. 1, 2, tick-tock to this third guy. And then they've got a complete forward as well. So if I were to play against this, I will never play deep, a mid block. You got to take the game to them. So while this tactic is good, 4-4-2s require you to be to be able to adapt to a game. Right? If you're going to play a 4-4-2 and you're going to be playing with one tactic all the way, then you shouldn't be playing the 4-4-2. You should be playing something like the 4-2-3-1, which is one-dimensional. It's all about attacking. Whereas a 4-4-2 is about how good are you at looking at the situation and adapting. It rewards players who know how to adapt, but it punishes those who can't adapt. Because if you can't adapt, don't touch a 4-4-2. It's the reality. Even on Football Manager 26, when it lands, the first formation I'm going to play with is the 4-4-2. If you're not the sort that can adapt and modify and change things and see things and understand what how threatening a certain formation is, I would not advise people to play the 4-4-2. It's got the 4-4-2 has a high I won't say it's a difficulty level, but see, there's so many things you can do with a 4-4-2. If I play a ball winning midfielder, I know I'm playing high up the pitch because he's got a large closing down area. Okay. Secondly, this guy's a DLP. Now, if I was playing a 4-4-2 with a fullback, it would never be this kind of a tactic. It will be more if this is a tactic, then it has to be counter press. Because this fullback is only going to be involved in the final third. So why do we have an attack duty? What am I trying to do here? This group is trying to win the ball high up the pitch and create goal scoring opportunities, but they're gonna have to hold on to the ball. So this guy should actually be here. This ball winning midfielder should be here. And this DLP should be here. Now the DLP is here. What you have is a fairly good creative fulcrum. You can even do this then. You can even have an overlap if you want to, but I don't think, and I think one of the worst instructions in the game for me is the overlap. The overlap kind of only gives you, it tells your player to look for the guy overlapping, right? Whereas the underlap tells you to look for any player that's making inside run. Now, lots of roles can make inside run. So that's it's one of the things that really became very, very effective with positional play, because positional play suddenly had players moving up now. So suddenly we had all these guys in central positions moving up, and we have a team instruction that encourages wide players to look for players moving up. So why would you want to use an overlap? The overlap died when positional play came in. Because if you use overlaps, your tactics are going to be boom, boom, one ball over the top. Unless, I mean, we could probably make overlap work, but it will be in a slightly different way. We'll give our if I wanted to play an overlapping tactic like this, right? So if I wanted to go overlap, okay, I probably would set it up. Let's try something different. Okay, we're gonna have a massively overlapping tactic, right? Okay, I'm gonna see what I can do. Just over the next game. Pass into space, we got double overlaps on both sides. So we're gonna use this tactic to create overlapping runs. Now the thing here is gonna be the use of counter press, because we're gonna have these guys high up the pitch. Now we're gonna try and play a mid block, but the idea behind what is a counter press for? The counter press is when you lose the ball. Now, when you have the ball in the opponent's third, you're trying to win the ball back quickly, right? That's great for the counter press. But if you're playing very wide like this, the counter press becomes very difficult to pull off because your players are so far apart. So in this particular case, we are definitely going to tell our team to regroup, because there's no point counter pressing. So we're just going to get them to regroup instead of counter press. We're not even going to give them an option. So every time we lose the ball, they drop back. Because there's no point. I mean, it's just going to be one player trying to win the ball back, maybe, and then you might have two players on top of it. So we're going to try that instead. We're going to run a defense. Since we are playing pass into space, we're going wide, and we're using a lot of roles. Like we're going to using the fullbacks. They're going to be dribbling with the ball, but not as much as the inverted winger and the winger. So now we're going to have a naturally overlapping tactic, right? So let's go next game. I don't know. This might work. This might not work. But we want to have a completely overlapping system now. Okay. Yeah, we're doing quite badly in the league because, this is, of course, diagnosis, right? So our poor team always gets to play a different tactic every week. Okay, let's go. We're not bothering with who's playing where, what, when, why. Okay, we just pick, let the S-man choose, and then off we go. Next time, I don't want to pick the best teams. Yeah, then it's pointless. Okay, so we've gone. So we've gone straight to the flanks. Zawadzki comes in. And yeah, that was not too bad, man, straight away. We got these two guys up there. We're using a high defensive line. This means that the back line is supporting the attack priority here. Mid block, we're expecting to win the ball in the middle. We are expecting to put pressure on the middle. Now, this is a 4-2-3-1, so it's fairly attacking. Defended well. Okay, they close down the right spaces. I'm putting a DLP besides the inverted winger because these two are quite creative roles. I don't want to split them. I'm playing them together. So if there's going to be something funky happening, it's most likely going to happen on the right side of the pitch. So far, so good. We're going to go to key highlights now because this is too many highlights for me. I don't like to watch too many highlights now because then I'll start thinking everything needs to be adjusted. I saw one transition was pretty okay. I was pretty happy with it. Now, NCB and CD. Why don't we just go NCB double and then we remove, we don't have to play out defense and we don't, I don't want this. Sorry, I just realized I still have distributed center backs. So we're going to hoof the ball up towards a pack mid, so a wide pack, the pack flanks. Okay. That's offside. The other thing we can do is play a support attack duty. Yeah, I mean, in this particular case, maybe we can even do this. There'll only be one outlet, but remember we got fullbacks coming up, right, to overlap. So we need, this team can only be effective in the final third if we have the ball. Otherwise, it's just defending. Yeah. So all we do is defend. Even though we are playing with a mid block, but we're only depending on these two guys. And then these two guys only get involved if we are attacking the opposition in their third. Right, that's it. If we camp, they get involved. Otherwise, they're not going to get involved because they're fullbacks on attack. So they keep having to shoot. Well, that means that you have to make sure that we defend well. That's about it. It's not a pretty 4-4-2. Huh? There we go. Now we got one attack. And I see the fullbacks coming involved. They're now quite high up the pitch, but they only, and we got the goal. The fullbacks only get involved when we are attacking. Otherwise, they're just going to be in their position. So it's like we created now the thing, it makes sense. Because for the fullbacks to be attacking now, is because the two wingers, they're not running off, right? So they're on support. So this, if you want to create a mid-block, it makes more sense to create a mid-block like this. Because the only time I would play a mid-block where I want to hit teams on the break, right? Teams on the break and using the flanks is if I was going to be doing this, right? So if I wanted to do a different kind of mid-block, it would be this. Now I go inverted fullback, and these two guys go on attack duty. Okay, so now these two guys are on attack duty, and we can leave him on support, I guess, for now to see the transitions. We conceded before the changes could take effect. Now I've got to get, these guys are the ones pushing up. Okay, because quite sad, because all we're depending on is the, oh no, it took a deflection. Now we're only depending on those guys attacking white. Thing is here is these two roles. They are just running off right now. I've got to change this to a central midfielder on defense, or at least a ball-winning midfielder. They're probably ball-winning midfielders. They try to win the ball higher up the pitch. Each transition was torn through the middle. The thing is that if you want to play a mid block, I think you should be playing it with the double DMs, instead of MCs in the middle. And if you wanted to use a role, it shouldn't be the ball-winning midfielder in the center, because he tends to try. The ball-winning midfielder is not really a great role if you want to win in doing a mid block. It's a great role in the final third, like a final, if you're doing a high block, right? But not in a mid block. Tammy, I mean, like, Dybala is probably the world's worst choice as a target forward at the moment. Ever since we changed this to a D duty, it's done a lot better. It's a lot more. Yeah, there's a guy in the center, so it's not that easy to go through the middle so easily. Yeah, earlier we definitely were struggling with two. I was trying to make the ball winning midfielder work in a what was that again? In a mid block, but it didn't. But I still think that the earlier version that we did, which had like the two fullbacks on attack, was slightly better than this. This is just opening us up. We just getting completely smashed through the middle. Enough to get ourselves fired, I think. Yeah. But you need the right players as well for the 4-4-2, and we don't have that. Yeah, this is just it's not working for this team. So when this we just got swallowed. So when we were playing like this, the team was a lot more compact because there was two lines of four, and these guys were helping us against these two were helping us against these two. Now, ever since we changed it to inverted fullbacks and just these two attack duties, the tactic fell apart. So it won't work if we do it that way. Yeah, I think the 4-4-2 as a system with yeah, I'm not a big fan of mid block 4-4-2. So to be honest with you, I'd rather play a 4-2-4 as a mid block than a 4-4-2 because you're just gonna have to have these two guys are just gonna be the roles you struggle with the most. Yeah. So in both situations it didn't work. I tried in another game. I'm not saying that maybe you can. If you can, let me know what you did, because I'm not pretending I know everything. But the thing is, like my favorite tactic so far, I think I uploaded to you guys already. There's so many tactics, right? I think we had the Everton low block series. Wonder where I put that. Show related. Was it here? We had a low block collection. We had a lot of low blocks here. We had a low block 4-4-2. See, I'll play like that. Winger, attack fielder, holding these guys back. At least then you got this with these double DMs. You still have an option. Then where was then we did I remember doing the Everton. I remember uploading Everton. Hold on. Maybe it's in my own folder. We go Everton. We have a lot of Everton tactics, but they're Everton low block. This was the Everton low block. Winger attack, ball winning midfielder, DLP on defense duty to protect us, and either pressing for and support, pressing for and defend. This is a complete low block tactic with a low defensive line, a trap outside inviting crosses. Because if you wanted to set up a really like a defensive low block, right? Or a mid block, right? How would you set it up? How do you play 4-4-4 mid block? It's already there. I haven't played for FM for beta. Is it worth getting back into? Looks very similar. It is quite similar, except for transitional play. Even if you have not played FM since they introduced that feature, it'll take some getting used to. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this. I'm gonna get here. You see, the thing is in this setup, right? The backline doesn't get involved. This backline doesn't get involved. It's only these guys getting involved. Oh, this is interesting. This is because I had the players at Everton to pull this off. And does this guy have aggression? We'll just put him here because he doesn't have any aggression. Does he have? Okay, let's go. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. Like I haven't played with this Everton tactic in so long. How do you play a 4-2-4 mid block? Yeah, wingers on a inverted fullbacks, left and right. Probably a DM on support, DLP on support, and then two wingers on attack, and then a target forward and an advance forward. Yeah, that's how I set it up. So now we're just sitting back and defending. And the way the tactic has been set up, it's been set up for us to defend. Because you have to have, you want to play a low block, you better have defenders. If you don't have defenders or low block, game over. Yeah, so your two defenders better be good at winning the ball in the air. So I've got these two up top, they're just hounding the team. So in this kind of a low block, usually with Everton, and we played a low block the entire season. Yeah, and I remember Andrew Jolly. How are you, man? Good times is there more reaction to specific things and then doing, oh, is it still set and forget? No, there's a lot more reaction now, Andrew. If you play Football Manager now, if you you cannot, I mean, you can get away with creating tactics and forgetting all about them. But there are some formations like the 4-4-2 that allow you to make changes. With a role change, right, you can change the flavor of the game. I'm sure that was also something that was in previous editions of the game. But now it's more fun to tweak. I would say that. So like, but the problem so the same problem that existed in previous Football Managers is still a problem in Football Manager 24, which is back five systems suck. The only way they will work is if they go attacking or they are a 5-2-2-1. Yeah. 5-2-2-1 is very good on Football Manager simply because it's got all the players in the right positions to deny the opposition ideal passing patterns. That's all. That's the only reason why the 5-2-2-1 is so strong. Not because it's theoretically a good formation, it's because it's got all the players in the right positions. Like this one is going to struggle. It'll only do well if you can camp. So first half, we sat back with this low block 4-4-2 against Juventus, and yeah, we're just sitting back, letting them attack us. So I mean, the goal here is like, just sit back. So I remember using this with Everton for an entire season. But I did make changes. Like some games, if I was playing against a team that was that gave me a chance of winning, right? Or at least I figured I had a chance of winning that game, I would actually change the two roles in front to a target man and a poacher. Yeah. And then I'll have pass into space. So all I do is sit back in this low block, and then all I do is hoof the ball up and hope that somebody scores a goal for me. Yeah. And because this combination of DLP and a ball-winning midfielder, but remember, this has got a defend duty. So this guy is running up, and he's got a defend duty and a support duty. The goal is in this tactic is not to win. It's to frustrate, play anti-football. And it's possible on Football Manager. I mean, especially if you meet a team that's playing a back five like this. I mean, see how long it's going to take us to concede a goal. Now, if I take out Renato Sanchez, we'll probably lose. So I'll put out Zeki, who can't. He was being played out of position, and then we will play a player who shouldn't be a pressing forward. Okay. Now that means this. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I will do it to make my point. Now we'll find that we'll probably concede a goal because I've got a player that is never going to tackle. Or rather, he probably won't tackle. Pressing for and support. Plus, he's got no aggression and low bravery. So I think the game itself is kind of funky. I do like FM24. I know people say I know there are lots of criticisms about the match engine. People saying that the game doesn't what's the word for it? It's rigid. I don't think it's rigid. I mean, I'm one of those few guys that actually likes the engine. I enjoy playing, tweaking tactics. I enjoy seeing things happen, and again, I go, wow, they're playing this. I'm playing this then. No, I love it because it just makes it more fun for me. Okay. Look at the AI, it's gone mental. Now we still have these two helping us defend. Juventus believe they can beat us, maybe. Who knows? We're still defending. We're letting them come down the flanks. And the boys are, yeah, we're just sitting back in a low block, man. I don't know how long we can pick this up for, man. I'm getting worried about the two in the middle because they don't seem to. Okay, Paredes can come on, I guess. He can. Which position should Paredes be in? He's gonna break a leg and probably get sent off. It seems to be his primary purpose in life. Hey, see it out loudly. I did a tactic with defenders to defend, midfielders to support, all final third guys only to attack. Just upload. Okay. So you can see, I am hoping you can see it. Let's see if we can see it. So because Dybala is on the pitch, right? He's not supposed to do anything. Yeah, so they should be able to work their way in. Yep. Yeah. Still defending. So the primary purpose of this low block tactic was to frustrate teams. That's all. Make them attack me. Oh, they got a goal. They got a goal. This is a good goal. Yeah, I should have kept my defensive line. I should have changed my. I should have. Yeah. We consider right at the end. Too bad. We almost got in. Church, what could I have done better? Yeah, if I had another ball winning midfielder on support. Alian Malik, your first FM stream of September. Welcome to the stream, man. Hey guys, have they said anything else on FM26? Read the announcement. We didn't see nothing since the big year. I think there will be something coming soon. It's just the start of September, right? So they're bound to be announcing something soon. Right? I think the month of September could see some announcements for Football Manager. I won't be surprised if there are no announcements. I'll be shocked if there are no announcements. I think SI is gonna make an announcement, and hopefully they give us some gameplay, man. I think that's what everyone wants to see, right? I think you just want to see the players coming out. Maybe they cut a video on that. They probably will do that. A little shorts video on the boys coming out of the tunnel, and then some gameplay footage. Hopefully, whoever is playing the game can choose his youth team. I'm supposed to do this. Okay, tactic. We are in trouble on this. Okay, this is interesting. Why did you have anything specific you wanted to say about this tactic? I saw something but I didn't read it. We double IB and double take. Double inverter fullbacks and double I take two. I don't even have that many players, man. Okay. Yeah, we don't have enough players for a lot of these funky tactics. We got Christiansen, DM. Oh, this will work. Focus play left and right. Don't need focus play. 1, 2, 3. Alright, it can work. It can work. Definitely can work. 100% it works. This 3-man defense, right? I gotta run, but I'll subscribe. Catch you next time. Hey man, thanks man, Jolly. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. I think Conte will play Højlund and Lukaku together. Probably. Antonio Conte. Oh, Antonio Conte. Probably not. Probably not. No. Well, he's a one. Most of his tactics all feature one striker only. So he's not gonna go into like a 4-4-2 overnight now. What are your recommended midfield roles for 4-4-2 double CMs? Double CMs, you gotta be playing high up the pitch. So I won't say that there is one that stands out. I personally like double ball winning midfielders and support. And I know a lot of people out there think I'm insane for saying that, but there are a lot of roles that work with it. I mean, if you want to play high up the pitch, much higher defensive line, high block, then the ball winning midfielder pair becomes very strong because it's extremely disruptive to opposition teams that want to build up from the back. Then you've got strong wingers and you can play with fullbacks or false fullbacks coming on the inside. It's a devastating setup. Then you can also play with a tactic which has got like inverted fullback, libero and a ball playing defender, right? Libero pushes up, but then you have one DLP on defense, and in the center you can have a central midfielder attack. Then you can have a different kind of an attacking pattern. Then you got like wingers on attack. Now you've got a 4-4-2 that can morph, right, from being a back four into a three. And then you got a 2 in the middle, and then you've got 3 more in the center because you got a CM on attack move punching through the middle, and then you've got these 2 wingers, right, on attack. Now, when that happens, you got 2 strikers. You got a 5-channel attack with a 4-4-2. So there's a lot of combinations you can play. It all depends on how comfortable you are with roles and duties. Yeah, I personally have one 4-4-2 that transitions like a 3-2. I mean, it's transitions the way I just described, which uses libero. It's my favorite 4-4-2 in the whole wide world. And the problem was with that tactic is I think you guys were on the stream when I was playing it for 1 or 2 seasons. I got very bored, right? Because I just like it was we were doing quite well, and I was playing it with my Destiny team, right? And Destiny is that stream where I play against an AI that's got 20/20 for all attributes, and I have to have normal players, and we were playing quite well. Double midfielders are a lot of fun. You need the double. There's a reason why, in order to pull, in my opinion, if you want to pull a high block, high defensive line tactic, if you really want to overpower teams and you don't even want to think about it, you don't even want to think about the game, right? You just want to play and forget. Then what you need are players with high aggression and work rate, which makes the game so much more. It puts the game on easy street after that. And for many of you, it's probably going to be too boring, because if you have high aggression, work rate, and stamina in your team, right? They got bravery, of course. Then you can do a lot of funky things with your tactic. You can play like a 4, like what I did, which is like a 4-1-4-1 as well. And then all 4 of your players are pressing the backline. The backline can't even get the ball out, and you keep winning the game because the backline can't play the ball out of the back. Are you looking forward to FM26? I'm really excited. I can't wait. Sheen, of course I'm excited about FM26. I can't wait for FM26 to drop, man. I mean, like, I think a lot of us are suffering from too much FM24, including me. So much so that sometimes I don't want to see Football Manager. I'll be very honest with all of you. Okay, I'm reaching the point where I'm getting Football Manager overload. I was even thinking of doing a new show called What If Liverpool Were to Play with All Its New Players. I was about to download the update. Then I was asking myself, man, now I got to go to all these websites and download an update I have to pay for with the latest transfers and the new attributes. I'm like, then I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's a lot, man. It's not like we have a lot, man. But I was thinking, if I do that, and then will I be encouraging everybody else to do that? I'm like, well, it's entirely up to them. It's their decision to make. But I was like, not too convinced. I mean, there's one I was looking at, but I'm not sure. You see, the transitions are very nice in a tactic. No? Even though we're 2-1 down, right? I'm paying attention. I know that this team doesn't have the players for this kind of tactics, because it doesn't have enough high aggression players. Okay. I think that if you can get high aggression players for your tactic, especially whenever you play a high block, right? High aggression is valuable. Especially for any player on the flanks, you want them hounding the opposition player, winning the ball back, right? High aggression is going to be invaluable. Hey man, thanks for the sub, Andrew Jolie. I tried 3-4-2-1 2 DMs at 2 wingers. It's so solid. Defense the squad. Yeah, it does. It's the only reason why it does that is because the 3-4-2-1 it does something that is almost unfair, you know. Basically, with a 3-4-2-1, first up, you're going to be playing a lot of attacking mentality tactics. You're going to be playing high tempo, right? Your wing backs are going to be attacking, right? So that's your tactic, I assume. Then you're going to have like a 2 shadow striker. You can do anything you want in the AM tier. You can play any combination you want. But the reason why it does so well is because most tactics, when he plays against them, all right, because his roles are already in those positions. Now, remember, you got positional play in Football Manager 21. Your roles are already in the positions that you need the pressure to be in. So the 4-2-2-1 has got a 2-1 configuration in attack. So it's already putting pressure on the DMs and the defenders. And then when he wants to pass the ball inside, it's going to have a really challenging time to do that. right? So the problem in Football Manager is all these back five systems in real life have their wing backs even higher than they are in Football Manager. So the problem is the 3-4 back five systems on Football Manager look nothing like the way they are being played in the real world. People can take all the images they want and show them to me, and I'm going to go, no, but that's not, you've taken one isolated image, right? Like, I see a lot of formations in real life where they play back fives. Their wing backs are as good as wingers in the final third. They're already in the final. They're waiting for the pass, like so high up the pitch. They're not deep, man. So that's that. The 5-2-2-1 is I won't say. SI never really addressed the weaknesses of the 5-2-2-1, and I'm hoping they do that in FM26 because 5-2-2-1, you got to play on a high attacking mentality. If you play a high attacking mentality, it's a damn solid tactic. It was one of my. It was a tactic I considered to be a really strong formation for FM26. When FM26 was released, I did a first few videos, right, and I did an article as well where I spoke about the best formations for FM24. And the formations I listed were the 4-2-3-1, the 4-4-2, and the 5-2-2-1. These are my top 3 picks that you will do extremely well with these formations. The 4-2-3-1 was the easiest out of the gate. Anybody could play it. The 5-2-2-1 was also very easy, but you need to have the right kind of players in the wing back and the AM positions. If you had them, you got no issues again. And then But the 4-4-2 was for the tactical wizards. I mean, if you are a tactical, like you love tactics and you love to challenge yourself, then the 4-4-2 stands out as the best as well. But you need to be really good at modding the tactic. And then really close to them was the 4-3-3. But the 4-3-3 only becomes good if you know how to tweak. If you can't tweak, you're done. You can't play the 4-3-3 because the 4-3-3 will punish the player who doesn't know how to tweak. Even though I have a standard on most games, my CPX are, yeah, they will be at the halfway line in a back three. Yeah, standard line. With a standard line. So this is nice. I like this. I know this can work. 100% this tactic works. You know, Matty, I have no doubt this configuration works because we did a similar one a while back and it works. It's very strong. This tactic, this weird looking tactic actually works. Because of the inverted fullbacks, the Mazzalas come here, the Mazzalas come here, right? And they end up in the final third in the wider position. So you get this very funky attack. See, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then these guys stay in these positions. Yeah, it works. 100% works. I like this formation. Because I think it's something, the base, right, is something I go to when I'm down a man. When I lose a man, right, in a back five, right, I always end up with this configuration. I use this configuration. I keep maintain the rest of the four. Like if I have a 4-2-3-1, right, and lose a man, right, I actually take off a defender. I go into this setup and I maintain everything else, and it still works. There's nothing to change, man. I think this is fine. It is like, guys, if you play 4-2-3-1, yeah, if you play 4-2-3-1, right, like this, right, 4-2-3-1, okay, it's already a very strong tactic, right? So if I go a man down, right, you know what I take out? I take out this guy. I go into this setup. Inverted fullback, defender, same 2 roles, and I still carry on playing. Yeah. Then there's the 4-3-3. Right, the 4-3-3, or you can go into the other configuration, which is the 4-3-3 configuration, right? So assume right now, right, I lose a player, right, in a 4-3-3. So I take this guy out, assume this guy is gone, right? Then I go libero. This guy become a volante. He goes into the middle. It's like a 4-3-3, except now in the attacking transition, he moves up here. And this guy moves up here. What does he look like? The tactic I just explained, right, over here. Except this guy is not here. So there are plenty of ways to play this game. You gotta allow your okay, this is the problem with Football Manager 24 right now is positional play. Because unless you are familiar with positional play, which only happens if you play lots of times, yeah, then you'll be fine. Just go out there and enjoy positional play. Okay, let's see what else we've got. We've got say out loud your tactics here. Oh, take a look at your tactic now. All right. Oh, 4-2-3-1. We're Trequartista. Okay. I guess we got a perfect player for that. It's named Paulo Dybala. Yeah, we got Paulo Dybala. He can probably play that position. Yeah, even the computer thinks so. S-Man also thinks so. It says just bring up Paulo Dybala. Finally, he's got a tactic where he can play. Yeah, Paulo Dybala is a Trequartista, right? In my book as well. So far the first tactic we saw the 4-4-2. I think we should not be played that way. You either play a low block or a high block, but never mid block. Okay. The second tactic we saw, there's no need to change anything. It works brilliantly. It works as good as out of the gate. Let's talk about this tactic 4-2-3-1. First up, I hate this instruction with a vengeance. With a vengeance. This particular distributed position is my most hated of all. Okay, it's up there as the thing I hate the most. Okay, I know people like it. I leave it up to you guys, but I don't like it. Yeah, it's up to you. You want to do this, enjoy yourself. But I will be the first thing I will remove as a goal down is this instruction. Okay, all right. Especially if you're doing this, playing out a defense, because you need to play out a defense. You're asking your two DMs to come deeper, and then on top of it, you're telling your defender, "I only want you to pass to that guy." Why? Whatever for. Yeah, so I would refuse to use that. Shoot on side, penalty cross. This is a smash and grab tactic. If you ever saw one, yeah, this is a smash and grab tactic. Yeah, definitely smash and grab. So in this particular case, right, if he's gonna do it to this person, we have to make sure this guy can pass the ball. Okay, and then let's look at the PIs. Yeah, he's got these instructions now. Any PIs? Okay, no PIs. All right, okay, leave it. Change. Okay. Oh, good. So we are playing against a back five, right? There's no point playing inside forwards. They're just gonna cramp up the zone. So what we really want them to do is stretch the defense, and switching to wingers when you see a back five is always a good idea. Because then the wingers, they pull the defender and the full wing back. They're away from the other defenders. Whereas inside forward, he brings the ball and he brings more players to the center, so it cramps the area up. So knowing when to change your roles is always a good idea. Is high aerial jumping is not negotiable for a goalkeeper? No, positioning is not negotiable. Aerial reach, height is okay. It can help, but positioning is actually non-negotiable. You want a goalkeeper who's got good positioning, and I think like about 13, 14 is good positioning for a goalkeeper. Otherwise, sometimes you'll find your goalkeeper making mistakes, like coming out too early for the ball, or sometimes being in the wrong position to deal with a cross. So I think that. Then the second one I look at is always reflexes, handling, especially. Okay, handling is situational, right? If you're playing a tactic, a lot of this depends on the kind of tactical system you're playing, right? For example, I tend to play, if I'm playing low block tactics and this season I want to just invite a lot of pressure on my goal, then what I really want is good handling, aerial reach. Then my goalkeeper's aerial reach is excellent and his handling can deal with crosses. Now, if I have a tactic where I am going to leave my team, my goalkeeper in impossible situations where he is the last defender, then I need reflexes and one-on-ones. So you look at the kind of tactic that you have. Yeah. In most cases, I would say positioning would be non-negotiable because it's relevant for all tactics. I mean, that's my opinion. That's how I play, at least. I mean, others might play differently, so I'm sure other systems might work. But I normally just, I used to play aerial reach and handling all the time. People come to me in my streams those days, right? I got aerial reach and handling all the time. People go like, why you want aerial reach and handling? Because I want to deal with crosses. My defenders were not good. So every time people ask me the question, I go aerial reach and handling. And I realized, right, All these are situational. Yeah. Like, okay, Patricio, right? Okay, goal awarded. Now let's look at what he did here. Okay. So I know that this is probably half a bit positioning, and yeah. Look at his reaction. Reaction a bit split, right? Reaction a bit slow. Okay. His positioning wasn't very good as well. Okay, his positioning is 15 and his reflexes are 15. His handling is 15. So I could have chosen his goalkeeper on the spot, right, for my team. But he didn't deal with that very well. But what can we do? This is the attributes all tell me that he's not bad. He's a good goalkeeper. But hey, man. Yep. Nothing here tells me that, yeah, I probably would have used him, but his reflexes are 15. Goalkeepers, most of the time, I'm looking at 16 and 17 for reflexes. He's better when players are attacking him in the box, but he cannot deal with crosses very well. His handling is only 14. So it depends on where you are. I mean, if I was playing that, his handling is 14. So his air range is 16, right? But he's not very good at holding onto the ball after he's made a save, right? Now, air range is how far you can reach. Okay. All right. So basically, if your air range is 70, 18, you can tip the ball from the corner, right? Okay. There's 18. Handling is like the ball comes at you and then whether you can hold on to the ball. Okay. He's overall. So, I mean, like looking at it, he's semi-decent. He's not that bad. So I think you should, at least positioning for me, right? I always look at positioning to be about 15. But you can see this positioning was okay, right? It says 15. But here, his reflexes were not good enough. But what to do, man? He got beaten by a ball. That was quite solid. Forgot the update. If AF to Pocha, I think it was because I was step up more. It is got to step up more, is it? Oh. So I play him as a poacher, tell him to sit in the box. Well, Atalanta have scored a goal. I mean, this is a tactic that's all about, I'm going to go to attacking. Second half, so I won't change by much. Yeah. They're going to launch the ball. Because Roma have been sitting back and defending all the way. And then we considered a goal or basically a cross, right? Yeah, the only thing I don't like is the two wingbacks. I don't see the point in having wingbacks in this tactic. Yeah. For me, I would probably just go inverted fullbacks, man. That's it. Boom, push them up. Or wingbacks on defense. Yeah, I think you have wingbacks on defense. Yeah, that is fine. Yeah. There's not really a difference then between inverted fullbacks and wingbacks on defense. See, the problem when you have a trequartista, right? Is you notice a lot of challenges he has skipped them. Players get close to him, he doesn't do much. I mean, like most people, so if you want to play a trequartista, you need aggression and bravery. Oh, wow, work rate, wow. Yeah, but of course we need him to do some work. And they do it, no? Because they pay attention to their attributes. Surprise, surprise. It's the most hilarious thing about Football Manager. I would say that giving the opposition 1.67 XG still is credit, man. It's not bad. I think defensively was fine. 1.67 XG. Yeah, not that bad. It's still quite good, the tactical system. But every time you play this kind of, I'm sitting back and I'm letting them attack me kind of tactics, right? You need defenders. You need a goalkeeper that's good. Never play a low block unless you have a good goalkeeper and good defenders. And that becomes the interesting thing. The moment you have really good goalkeepers, right, and good defenders, right, what's the point of playing a low block? That's my point. You already got a good goalkeeper and defender. Go and attack. like this guy was set up again. You see this 5 at the back, and then you got this 4. So it's basically 4 versus all these guys. So outnumbered already. You need like really good players. If you're gonna, I personally believe, right, if I'm gonna have a situation where I got my 4 players versus a bunch of 5, then I better make sure my 4 are good. No? Yeah. Otherwise, we're gonna lose the ball and then we can see goals. So, yeah. You know, if it was me and I was using this tactic, I'd probably go like, yeah, it's like, you know, it can only work if I have the players for it. If I don't have the players for it, yeah, it's gonna like things like these guys have to deal with crosses, jumping reach, jumping 7. So they have to deal with crosses. Then these 2 guys are gonna be really good defenders, really good jumping reach. You got 15 and 13. So if I put this guy, no difference as well. Then we need these guys to be on their own with the ability to break away and at least do something. He can. He can't. Jumping range is not that good. 9 natural. He probably. I mean, this game is. If he can play this game, okay. But yeah, interesting of it. But interesting tactic. Huh? Yeah. You can't even get the ball out of your own half. Yeah, so and this is the reason why I don't play this setup. If I'm playing a low block, right? Yeah, if I want to attack teams, right? I know there is a time to play our defense. You want to draw them in and hit them on the break. If you have these guys very good at passing the ball, and you got these guys very good at passing the ball, all these guys are good at passing the ball, then I would do that. That's the only time. Yeah. If like my team can't do it, no. Yeah. So if I do, it's like suicidal for my team to do that. But if your team can and you have the players that can receive the ball right into space, then go ahead. It's brilliant. Yeah. So like a lot of the time, right, you know, what might work for you might not work for me because I don't have the players. So the football manager, ultimately, if you don't have the players, you can't really make it work. You know? Like sometimes you might download somebody else's tactic and go like, oh, why doesn't it work? It's a crap. So the best part is somebody tells you your tactic is crap. I see that happen with other tactic creators. You know, sometimes they offer a tactic and people go, this tactic is crap. And then the best part is that, I'll test the tactic out for a season. I'll let you know. I don't want to know what you think of my my tactic. You want to use, you got to get the right place. Okay, I don't need to know your opinion. But that's what the creator is probably thinking at that point in time. But you've got to have the right kind of players for your tactic. That's it. Like this tactic, 100%. If I like Dybala has got the bravery of an ant in a field of elephants, man. I think that it definitely will need a lot of better players. Yeah. But the thing is, like, you know, my team, like, if anytime you have a tactic, like this group has to be able to win the ball in the air. The whole group. And all of them must be able to pass the ball. If they can't, you're in trouble. So we got Karslov here. Passing, 14. Quite good, what? 13. He could have found the pass, but he didn't. You know, how many passes did he make in that game? None. Angelino, okay, well, it's passing. 14. Vision, 14. First touch, 15. He's good. Right? He is good. The Trequartista, gone case. This guy can't play. I mean, yeah, the game says he's going to be a good Trequartista, right? But I will never play him in any of my tactics because he has no bravery, he's got no aggression. So, but the problem is he's going to have to come and hold on to the ball for these 2 other guys, right? Yeah, so then therein lies our first jeopardy. And aggression again. Players can play this tactic. For real life, Manchester City, it's not bad tactics or bad players. I think, it's tactics, man. Yeah. Tactics. I mean, it's always been tactics with Man City. Man City is a team that's got vulnerability in his tactics. Massive vulnerability in his tactics, right? And managers, since the first day I saw Guardiola's tactical system, I said it on the very first day I saw the tactical system. What did I say? His tactic needs world-class players. to pull it off, right? Because if at any time they cannot do the transition to attack, they will leave their flanks open, and that's how they're going to concede goals. Every time they lose is from the flanks. They lose the ball, it goes down the flanks, they're in trouble. So the moment they are missing players, they're in trouble. It's in this particular case, right? That the really, really good players hang on to the ball and pass the team. This is why even in Football Manager, great players make a lot of tactics work. They mask the deficiencies of the tactic, which is the reason why a good tactic with great players is just going to do really well, right? So that's it. You have to try out tactics and play in different situations, because there will be tweaks you need to make against good teams all the time. I find that whenever I'm playing a top side team, I'll make tweaks to my tactics without fail. Yeah. All right, let's see if we got any more. Okay, we got this. Let's see from the public. You guys, we'll pick one or two tactics out. Once again, if you're on Discord, I'll be playing your tactic in full. If you're not, then I'm just going to take a look at the tactic. Okay, we've got 3 tactics in today. 1, 2, 3. So you got this 3-4-2-1. We've got right flank focus, asymmetric 4-2-2, AZ 4-3-3. All right, so let's come in here, delete this. Okay, we got Rich, your tactic. 3-4-2-1. Should work. It should work. No, the tactic, I already uploaded it. The link was in chat, man. If you're on YouTube, you should be able to scroll up. The link was there in chat just now. I posted it right at the start of the stream. Zalewski. Okay, this should work. Yeah, I shouldn't. Okay, libero. But this is a funky ass tactic, man. All right. But defensive wingers are quite high. Your tactic, your attack. Wait, Ian Roy, is this your tactic? 3-4-2-1. Who's there? If you are in chat right now, please let me know. No, I'm playing the tactic. I'm very interested. I know I did a 3-4-2-1, 3 liberos before. It was quite crazy. It worked. The question was, I like the 2 positions. This guy, I'll change him. Isn't these 2 defend and this guy become support duty and it runs through them? But then you can see it goes through the middle all the time. So if you want to do it, you can do it like this. Also, 2 liberos on support. But you got to keep the ball. So you have to look out and see whether your players are good at keeping the ball. Other than that, it'll be fine. Defensive wingers are interesting choice here because you need the right kind of players. If you play them too deep, then they don't press the opposition team, right? That's the reason why you got this. Yeah. So you play like this to put pressure on the opposition fullbacks. Yeah, that's the way I play it too. Rich, this is good one. There's nothing wrong with this tactic. I created similar psycho tactics before. It actually works on Football Manager. More time again, show the attributes of the most important weak tactics machine. Yeah, weak tactics always. But the problem is this, right? If a tactic, if the tactic is a bad, okay, I'm not saying bad tactics are gonna do well with good teams too. Bad tactics will also do badly for good teams. All right, because I did a simulation. I had this whole thing last year that I created. You can upload the save to yourself if you want to do tactics testing. I created this few leagues, some good teams with good teams, bad teams, and a good mix of everybody else. The thing is, right, if you give your team a bad tactic, right, it will still do badly. It will win more games than a team that is a bad team, but it won't win you the title, right? It won't like outperform. The idea here is, can your team outperform the odds? That's the important takeaway here. No? See, a good team can play any tactic, but it may not outperform the odds. Meaning, it might not win like you do the Grand Slam and you give you an unbroke, or what do you call it, invincible season, for example. Okay, a bad tactic may not do that, but you might still be able to finish in the top 3, or you might even win the title, but you won't be outperforming. You won't be doing better than you were before. So there's a reason why you still need a really well thought out tactic. Yeah, you can. This tactic can work with defensive wingers. A 3-4-3 with defensive wingers does actually work in the game. If you want, you can win the Champions League with an average bunch of players. You can. Hardworking players. But it takes you a bit more effort because then you'll be tweaking a lot in the game. That's the whole thing. I mean, because at the end of the day, the game will still demand that you tweak. That's what I'm trying to say. Because you cannot win a title with an average team, okay, with a bad tactic. And then if you take this bad tactic, give it to a really good team, and then when I say win the title, means that you go to bed now, you leave the tactic to the team, you don't make any changes. Yeah, that means you don't make tactical changes in the game, because you still need to apply tactical changes to the game. I'm telling you still need to. Yeah. But that's why I say this 3-4-2-1s right now, all these configurations where it's a 3-4-2-1, in a lot of configurations, they are going to destroy teams. Most of the time they will, no? Because teams cannot pass the ball around them. Pellegrini with the ball, goes back. Nice. Yeah, this actually does well. Yeah, there's nothing to change. Yeah. I would say this can work. Okay, the only thing I would change here, right? Actually, you did it, libero support, and ball libero defense. That's it. Yeah. You did it. I mean, other than that, you can also do this. Ball playing defender in the center. That way, that libero doesn't really go too far forward. Yeah, you can do that. That means that your ball playing defender is deep. Then the libero is the one going forward. But then I see what you've done here. Okay, these two ball winning midfielders, right? So your choice for libero on defense is actually quite the safest option, because when the two liberos support go up, right now, the three of them are in line, so to speak. Because when you play a ball playing defender, he's going to drop really deep, right? So that exposes the middle now. So if I play ball playing defender, it exposes the middle. Now he comes up when you have the ball. So he supports. He's like the DM right now. And these two guys are the last defenders. And you can see your best performers are your defenders. The tactic can win with good players, but it will not outperform. That's what I mean. Yeah. For me, I look at tactics as to whether I don't look at a tactic. I only look at a tactic whether it can take a side and make them outperform. Because ultimately, it's got to be, is the tactic good at creating clear-cut chances? You know how obsessed I am with that, right? Whether a tactic is good at creating good chances. That's my obsession. I'm only I have a lot of tactics that are fun, that create some memorable goals. Okay. And I discovered like the 5-2-2-1, for example, right? Okay. Did not do nearly as many tap-ins as I would like. Which is why the 4-1-4-1 is my favorite tactic in Football Manager, because among all my tactics is the only tactic that will create at least three three good chances per game. But it gives the opponent one. So I kept it. That is the one that I enjoy playing the most. So then it's more a case of, then you end up looking for the right kind of players for the tactical system, which is the reason why I did Destiny. Because I wanted to show people on Destiny that even if the AI had 20 in all attributes, I could still beat the AI. They didn't have, like, there was one time when it had 20 in all attributes to the whole team, right? And like there were 2 or 3 teams with 20 in all attributes. In most of their players, like one team had about 7 players who had 20 in all attributes. And so in terms of CA, both teams were stronger than mine. Mine had average players. But that season, we won the title. Not because the AI had the best players, but because I had the best tactic, or I had the best system for the players that I had at my disposal. So that's something that we have to always, remember. That's how I feel. I mean, like, if people can do that, then it's great. Okay, Ian, I got see your tactic now. All right, so the next couple of tactics, take a look at them and see how they do. Okay, load. Okay, so next tactic is Simon, your tactic, right? Okay. AP, box to box, DM, wingback. Okay, while I like this is the kind of tactic that always struggles. Like these tactics, right, 4-3-3, they defend with 7 players. Therein lies your problem. That means you're only attacking with 4. So when you're attacking transition, you generally only have 3 or 4 players attacking. So this is only 4 they're attacking. So you're always going to end up in a situation where you need to overpower the defense. But then you have an advanced forward. So when you're attacking with an advanced forward and you're playing a high line, your attacks are so fast, these guys aren't in position to attack. So what do you need to do? Drop, mix, drop, get everybody involved, change these roles to fullbacks on attack. So they dribble with the ball, bring the ball up, turn this guy into like an inside forward support, make this guy into like a pressing forward and attack, or even a poacher or a deep line forward and attack. Now what you have is a slightly different tactic. Okay, you got work ball into box, you're playing with a decent tempo, they go up the pitch, they build the play. These guys are going to go around. Yes, you're leaving your flanks occupied, but they're going to tick-tock all the way. And then you might have something. But why have an AP on attack? He's going to drive into the box. You might as well just tell him CM on attack. Then here, you can play, you could play a deep line playmaker, or if you wanted to, you're really bold, a roaming playmaker. Then this guy can just be a DM on defense. Okay. So what you now have is a player that might go left and right, hoping to create chances for your team. Instead of going attacking the pocket, you got this guy attacking the pocket already, but he's attacking the pocket as a goal scorer, not as a person that's looking for creating goal scoring opportunities for his team. Another variation of this is actually like that. Mazzala, you can even have a Mazzala attack. Now, then this guy, we partner him with like a winger. They keep the width, and then this guy's an inside forward. Now what I have is slightly different. So in this particular case, I could even go CM on attack. Now CM on attack. Sorry. Okay. So no, CM on support are better. Box to box. Okay, let's go box to box. Okay, so now we got 2 roaming roles. This creative fulcrum, he's going to come to this side of the pitch and look to create goal scoring chances or attack the area from here. Inside forward attacking this side, box to box going this way. So you got these group of players attacking this channel, and it can be quite challenging but fun. 4-3-3s always struggle for tactical chances, which is the reason why you don't see a lot of people streaming playing a 4-3-3 except for me. One of the best 4-3-3s actually uses a libero. He gets up, this guy can become a DM on support, and then guess what? All of them start attacking. So these guys become inverted fullbacks. They hold a line. You can even add an underlap and an underlap. So the widest players hold up the ball looking for inside runs. This guy comes up, this guy comes up, this guy goes here, this guy comes here. This is also another variation. So there are lots of variations to go with a 4-3-3. But the one that you chose with the AF might struggle, because an AF is like the description of the role. He's the focal point of attacking moves. They're going to see him, they're going to pass the ball to him. Bind, let me go through if I get them in knockouts. I remember when 2 once I thought the broke because they equalized time in 1-3-1. Yeah. The thing about a lot of these tactics, we have to think about when you use an AF, sometimes the attacks are just too fast. Yeah. Can we expect to see you in the Zealand League? Depends if they want me to come. But the other thing is as well the timing, let's be realistic. If I'm in the Zealand League, they're probably playing against my tactic rather than me because of the timing. And I can't really sit nowadays and do streams that are 4 hours long until I get help with the kids. Volante attacking this way. Inverter wingback going. Why inverter wingback? Just to hold this position. This guy is going this way, pressing for AP. AP on support. Overlap on the left. He's doing a natural overlap. We don't need him to do that. Unless, okay, he is doing a natural overlap. The only reason why you would put overlap on him even more is to get him to be a lot more aggressive. If that is what you want to do, by all means. But if that was never your goal to make him more aggressive, then remove this instruction because it is not necessary. The question I have for this tactic is, okay, asking him to move into channels. Not roam, but asking him to move. So he just does these movements like here and here. Okay, and that's a move into channel. Oh, you're quite new to the game. But I have a lot of fun. I think if you're new to the game, if that was your 4-3-3 just now, okay, if that was your 4-3-3, the 4-3-3 is going to frustrate you more than any other formation in the game of Football Manager because you'll find your XGs to be like 1.5. And you're probably going, why am I not scoring enough goals? What's wrong with this tactic? Right? Is there anything wrong with me? Actually, there's nothing wrong with you. It's the tactic you're playing with. Because it defends with 7 and only attacks with 3. My advice, play a 4-2-3-1 with attacks with at least 4. Then you have more options. So that 4-2-3, it's not for any random reason why the content creators, you see a lot of them play 4-2-3-1. You see competitions, a lot of guys using 4-2-3-1s because technically speaking, from a purely tactics point of view, it is definitely more efficient. Yeah. And the 4-4-2 as well, but the 4-4-2 is got a high benchmark. Okay, this tactic is a bit. I'm struggling to see how you're gonna create goals. I mean, I'm struggling to see how you're gonna score goals here. So you remove the overlap. Yeah, just remove the overlap. Now the interesting thing is this, right? You got this focus play underlap where the widest player holds out the ball looking for inside run, and you got these 3. Why don't you get this player? Yeah, okay, I get you. You're using this as a link for these guys. Get stuck in, step up more. If you want him, okay, I tell you what, why don't you do this? Okay, I'm gonna suggest something. Okay, you want this guy to come up here, so why don't you just do this? Wait, come in. Why don't you just go here then? Play this guy as like a volante. Then he will become the winger. No? He will end up in this position because the volante is coming. All you need this guy to do is do this. So he will make this run. This guy's gonna come out here. He'll become a winger in this position by himself, right? You don't need him to do anything. He'll just come here and be the winger because this volante is coming up. Then this guy can still be a wingback on attack. This could be quite interesting. Then this guy becomes a complete forward support or complete forward attack. Now you got this group of players attacking. If you wanted to deep line forward support, I mean, I know why some people like this role. Okay, what about deep line? Okay, I like the idea of a hold up. Okay, these two can work together. There'll be quite a bit of movement. The volante comes up. Shadow Striker now moves to this area. Because Shadow Striker is definitely coming here. He is 100% coming here. All right. Now, as he comes here, this guy goes here. This guy is going to come here. Right. And you got focus play and underlap. So what's going to happen is these guys on the right are your guys who are going to be creating goal scoring chance. Even the Shadow Striker will get involved. So then it becomes you play the Shadow Striker. You know, I get why you did this. Again, you got this side here. So yeah, do the Shadow Striker AP attack. and play this guy as a volante. Could be funky. So then you will get the shit, because you know why I say this, because we did this on the stream for a few seasons, the box tag thing. And I tell you this, asymmetrics, they're not good. Like this, the AI can't play. Like this, the AI can still play. So the AI can still play their way out of trouble. This, the AI can't play, because the AI will have no center now. So I suggest doing this weird tactic. Okay, load. Wait, we have one more tactic. I haven't walked it in yet. Yeah. Copy, and then we go paste. Okay, this time 3, 4, 2, 1. If you are your team and tell me any years where, oh, cool. I'm glad they helped you. Yeah. All right, this is correct. Low cross, take it out. 3, 4, 2, 1. You don't want. If you do low cross, okay, understand this about low cross. Okay, low cross is great for tactical systems that are camping. Is your tactic camping? Then turn on low cross. Are you always in the opponent's half and you're attacking him? Turn on low cross. We will ball into box. If you are not, take it off. So this instruction is actually situational. This one. Because low cross is about cutbacks. No? Because your wing backs are going to go all the way to the byline and do a cutback. Can you do that all the time? It's one of those. This is one of those instructions I say is situational. Why? Because your strikers up top could be tall, dark, and handsome, right? And looking for something to land their handsome heads to, like a ball in the air, right? So that's why I suggested that. So, and then in those kind of games, what can happen is this role changes immediately from advanced forward to poacher. So if you were to play low crosses, I would never play advanced forward, because then there's no time for the low cross, because everybody's just going to hoof the ball up. Okay, so I would play poacher if I want to do low crosses and I'm camping. These backfire systems are all very strong. Now, here are other options for your backfire system, right? There's one option that you probably saw just now, which is actually very strong. This is actually a very good option for a backfire system. It's kind of insane, I know, but hear me out. This guy goes up, this guy goes up, this guy comes into the center, this guy goes up, this guy doesn't go all the way up, these two become a pair. He's just protecting this side where this complete wingback is bombing forward. Now, the thing about him is he's going to come up and he's going to support play. But if he has to run back, he'll run back and defend or get into position relatively quickly. But it allows you to transition the ball up in a kind of you'll have like a little M in your defense, right? You know, this guy is coming up here, this guy's up here, this guy's back here. And then when you're building up play, he goes up to the middle, this guy. So it's quite nice to watch. And then sometimes he will be the one that's further up. And then he'll join your DM in support. And this allows you to do a lot of things. For example, the double volante combination. Now you have this guy coming up, this guy coming up, this guy in the center, this guy pushing up, this guy pushing up. He becomes a flanking attack. The complete wingback. Now is the option of going inside or outside. So I'm not suggesting you go. And then in that kind of a setup, this role becomes a liability, because you're having a lot of players coming up and destroying teams. No? So then in that case, this guy becomes a pressing forward or a poacher, not an advanced forward, because then your attacks are too fast. If you play with your original setup, which also works, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is your original, no, this one. Your original tactic also works, okay? This this is Richard's tactic. Where's yours? This guy, right? This one. Yeah, this also works. The thing about this is, you've got this, if you want, Volante coming up, AP linking play up with this guy going around him. I think what you need here is the focus on the left. Yeah, you need to focus down the left. You need to tell your players to shift a bit more to the left so you create the sprawl. Maybe not. Yeah, don't play on shorter passing. Just play on standard because you occasionally will need the long passes. Volante is fine. This tactic is also fine. There's nothing, there's nothing wrong except for this roller. I'm not a big fan of advanced forward in a back five. Pressing forward is really good. Complete forward is really good. Poacher is also very good. But advanced forward is really low on the totem pole for me because the only time this role becomes really good is when okay. These two can work if your team is so good at defending that they just win the ball really quickly and they hoof the ball up, right? Because you're gonna have a lot of hoofing with this type thing. A lot of balls gonna go back to front very quickly because of pass into space, attacking mentality, which is the reason why you drop your passing to short, right? Because you want to see your team build up play, right? Now, if you want to see your team build up play more, change his role to a pressing forward or poacher. You see it happen very quickly. So then you'll get a lot of that nice thing. So I'll probably try poacher first because poacher holds the two central defenders' hands together with his one hand, or rather his two hands. So he's holding four hands with two hands, if that even makes sense. And then they give space to this guy to come in and score goals. Yeah. So yeah, you can. Of course, the other option is like my suggestion is libero, support, defend. Then you get a psycho tactic. Can you do a very low tempo tactic that works? No, I can't. A very low tempo that doesn't. Very low tempo tactics require a very, very good team, and I don't have one with me. Because you want to make a very low tempo tactic, it just needs, hey guys, let's take all the time in the world to move this team around. And score a goal. You probably generate like 70 to 80% possession, but you're gonna have to keep the ball. So you're looking at what? 4-1-4-1? As a low tempo tactic. Not many tactics can be very low tempo tactics. The only one I can think of the top of my head is a 4-1-4-1. 4-1-4-1 will probably be a very good low tempo tactic because it will have all the players in the right positions and you're playing high up the pitch. Probably with like fullbacks, box to box, play deep midfielder. So on the top of my head, right, this is how I set up. If I wanted to create a low tempo tactic, right? So let's do this. So I make a low tempo tactic. So we will have a 4-1. Four-1, right? You want a low tempo, right? This guy is a complete 4-1. So he's roaming. Okay. Then we'll get a fullback on tank. This is natural. We do a lopsided 4-1, and we do a box to box. Then this guy is like a defensive midfielder support or register. This guy is going to be a register. I don't want him moving around so much. Okay. Then we got one ball playing defender, one ball playing defender. Then we'll get a winger on support. Then we get a winger on a tank. Then we get a fullback on support. Then we want balance, standard, lower tempo, dribble less, be more expressive, play our defense, fairly narrow because we don't want the ball to be whipped around, right? Counter press, hold shape, distribute to fullbacks. Step up more. Get stuck here. No. And then I'll probably play on positive. So this is probably the closest I can get to a low tempo. Poachers and mixed crosses. Keeper. On defense. So this is just low tempo. We're just making a low tempo tactic. The goal is to move the ball around like interminably forever. I'll see whether we can tweak along the way. But I think the easiest one probably 4-1-4-1. But low tempo tactic, your team better have very good composure. Yeah, I see. We are defending and immediately they hoof the ball out. What's your best? I've had quite a lot tactics that have been successful on Football Manager. Like we did a 4-2-3-1. I can't remember the name of the tactic. I think Gambit was extremely successful. And Joey Goes Crazy was also very successful system. England Go Crazy also was a successful tactic. Yeah, a lot. I've had quite a few. The 5-2-2-1 was fun. You see the problem with this, right? So we gotta run with the ball already. Okay. So we cannot do this. We gotta run in defense or leave it now. Focus. Move more guys to the side of the focus. Wider player looking for inside runs. We're gonna leave that alone for now. Yeah. I don't look at tempo. I hate messing with tempo. Yeah. I don't like messing with tempo because it's tied too tightly to mentality. Tempo is not something that I care about in the game. I think a lot of people have this thing about tempo. Tempo is about tempo is this. Tempo is about getting your players up the pitch to score goals. So if you play a low tempo tactic, you must be very confident in your side's ability to move the ball around. And then sometimes they end up decision making not good. You see what my team did? Just hoof the ball. So I hate tempo. I hate playing low tempo tactics. Because remember, this game was not designed to perfectly give you your team to follow your tactic all the time. It never was designed that way. It was designed to be a simulation of human behavior on a football pitch, given certain instructions that you give. I mean, they were allowed to not follow your instructions, basically. Yeah, so if the players don't... That's why you have players with preferred positions they like to play in, or they... Yeah, so sometimes it won't work. Now, sometimes your tactic will work. Yeah, take your own sweet time. There we go. Low tempo. Taking my own sweet time to get... That's what I mean. Now the team is following an instruction. Sometimes it doesn't. So in this kind of a situation, you gotta look at your team. That was a low tempo move, no? Yeah, they were just like, okay, yeah, let's move the ball up and take our own sweet time to do it. I think everybody is gonna have a massive learning curve when FM 26 lands. That's all I can say. Yeah, everybody's gonna go out. We're gonna make this tactic. Yeah. First day, everybody's gonna be like that. Because, I mean, based on the leaks, right, about the roles, I mean, there was a leak a couple of weeks ago about the roles, if you all remember. I immediately went into it. My first thing was, wait, what happened to duties? Like, I don't know. I don't think anybody else picked up on that, no. I was probably the only guy that picked up on it because I was like I think duties have died, man. There are no duties in the game. So how are we going to know who's going to come back and who's not going to come back and when they come back? I know that we might have a in and out of possession tactic, right? But that's not enough. We need to know, let's say, like, there is definitely, you see, the way I look at it, it was a way for SI to give everybody different, what was the word for it? Mentalities and risk-taking. So I still remember why, I mean, I assume certain things in the game that they will follow a certain pattern all the time. They will not fundamentally change the game so much. That is, Paul Collier can't play the game, for example. Because Paul is the one that designed the match engine the first time. So yeah. So far, okay, right? We got a low tempo tactic. Not exactly, so we go down to cautious. Yeah, we consider a goal. That's why I'd say it. Low tempo tactics you shouldn't do it. Do you consider tempo shift the most changeable tweak during the game? No. I think that you shouldn't be able to play a low tempo. If you play a low tempo, then chances are you might lose a lot of games as well. And that should be the case with low tempo. Because in the real world of football, whenever a team plays low tempo, they always struggle with creating goal-scoring chances because there's no urgency to their play. There's no need to bring the ball up quickly. So when you play on low tempo, it's about urgency. Are you trying to win the game? Right? So if you play on lower tempo settings, you're basically telling the team, take your own sweet ass time to get a goal. So it might be a goal down, the team doesn't really bother about bringing the ball up the pitch. So why bother changing your mentality to attacking? It just means that they are not bothering to bring up the pitch, but they're willing to take riskier chances with the ball. Yeah, so this is the reason why I always tell people, when you play this game, tempo is the only thing in the game I will recommend in a heartbeat. Okay, you keep it a normal or high. The only time you change tempo is to slow things down. Meaning you're telling your players, hey, I want you to be a bit more considerate about your chances, and that's when you bring tempo down. So you're in the half, you're creating chances, and you're playing on very high tempos, right? Then bring it down by 1 or 2 notches to normal. That's the only time. Lower tempo plus counter doesn't work. Like I said, you all should go ahead and try it. It does not work. Low tempo and counter is so counterintuitive because tempo affects how quickly your backline is going to go up. No? So how quickly the see look low tempo. We had a counter on, nothing happened. Is it because of our mentality? We're playing on cautious mentality. Low tempo. See, you look at everybody. They won't even get busting a chop to get into the third to help their winger, that one striker that was up top. So I think that you can try it. I don't think I might be wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong. I mean, like, you can definitely, like, some tactics might be more inclined towards low tempo. I think like the 4-3-3. Because you've got 7 players in defense, right? So you can definitely take your sweet ass time to bring the ball up and then go camping and then moving a team around. So I think 4-3, some formations might lend themselves to being good low tempo tactics. So I went for bottom heavy tactics first, the 4-1-4-1. See, this is the reason why if you play a low tempo, right, you better have a team that can pass the ball. Yeah. What is someone creates a tag where every instruction contradicts each other? I mean, like, then, yeah, I mean, go ahead and, think about all these instructions, team instructions and play instructions, right? Everything here is a tendency to do something, But if you create tactics, right, like this one, we create a low tempo tactic, don't expect it to work. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you want the team to score goals, normal tempo. Just tell him to play on normal tempo. Mentality does not mess things on Football Manager. Mentality is about risk. And it just shifts the lines. That's all it does. Things like tempo, this thing, they mess with your tactic more than you know. Right? This messes with tactics a lot more. Tempo does more damage to your tactics than mentality. Mentality, on the other hand, doesn't. You can play a good tactic can be played on any mentality. A good tactic can be played on any mentality. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? But a bad tactic is terrible. What tactic will be best if you have too many good? What tactic will be best if if you have a lot of CMs in your team, play a 4-4 box, Brazilian box, the 4-2-2-2-2-2. Yeah. 2 DMs, 2 central midfielders. That is one of the best. That was the first attack we see, where we went up when I changed tempo. Tempo is more likely to mess your tactic up, not mentality. Mentality is one of the easiest things to handle because I do it on streams all the time. I play on low mentality, then I go to very attacking mentality. Yes, if your tactic is well designed, you shouldn't have a problem. But if your tactic is poorly designed, I guarantee you, changing mentality is going to be a problem. Because every bad, you see, it's a game of risk, right? So imagine this. If your tactic is well designed and all your roles are balanced and you're well thought out, okay? Then as you shift the risk, everything is still the same. Just that. So if it's like risky, a small weakness in your tactic might become, a bit of weakness if you raise mentality. But if your tactic is not well designed, right? If your tactic is not well designed, maybe you have like okay, let's give you an example. You have fullback attack here, you put a fullback attack here, and you put like a winger on attack here. Let's just make this like I don't know, a defensive winger, and this guy becomes like a fullback on attack. I don't know, like, fullback on an attack here. Okay, then you play it. Let's just make a poorly designed one. Okay, no nonsense center back, puts the ball out. This guy is a CM on defense, stays back because we don't know what we're doing. We're just thinking that, okay, this guy is attacking. I want this guy to defend. I want these two guys to defend because this guy is attacking. Some illogical thing like that. Okay, all right. Then you want this guy to come up, and then you want him to be an advance forward. Okay, great. Okay, now what we have? We have a tactic that's got this side is vulnerable, right? Okay. Now, on lower mentalities, okay, this may not be an issue, no? But when you go on higher mentalities, your risk taking goes up. Your players are going to take positioning goes up. Right? So the gap between these two might increase. The gap between this defensive line and the back line is going to be the highest it's going to be in the tactic. Okay, that is why I say a bad tactic will amplify everything else. Okay, so if I had this set as like a fullback support, and then this guy as a box-to-box, maybe he's going to support plays, he goes up. This guy as an NCD is fine. Okay, now this guy is following this guy, he's not holding back. All right, so this guy is a fullback on support, it's not attack duty anymore. If I increase my mentality, the gaps are still going to be still high, but now this guy isn't exploding with him, so that I don't amplify the gap in the hole in my tactic. So I'm not making the hole any bigger. So that is the reason why when you are looking at your roles and your duties, right, it's more important to create what we call a balanced tactic, right? Make a balanced tactic. Then you can play on any mentality. But if your tactic can't be played on you can't shift mentalities, it is a bad tactic. That's all I'm going to say. If your tactic cannot shift between mentalities, I guarantee you it's bad. Okay, let's see if we got any more tactics. Oh, we got two more. Stuttgart and this. Now, I'll tell you something. What I just said, right? I guarantee you a lot of people disagree with me. They will say, never change your mentality. Well, that's the world, I'm happy. I'm like, okay. Yeah. 637. No, I have to download it again. Why doesn't it want to show up? Should be public 5 or public 4. Where's public 3? Oh, no wonder. Hey, it's correct. Suddenly, either my eyes are deceiving me. There we go. This is 4th of September. This only tactics I downloaded. What is going on with my brain, man, today? I'm going to see what this is. Yeah, this is the ones that we just did. Man. I just download them individually. Oh, no wonder it's not downloading anything. Yeah, I didn't download anything. Yeah, one is in. Like suddenly, all of a sudden, these buttons later. I say dashing area is in. Yeah, download 4 was done 43 minutes ago. Yeah. Is that a whole? Wait, can't be. Stuttgart season 2. Yeah, that's just a tactic, right? Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, correct. In that case, you're right. 30 changes a lot of things, but it's still a safer change than making a. That's what happened. But we'll come back to this later. I know what happened because it was like I'm blocking it from downloading a lot of files. We get the first file, but I don't know why Stuttgart season 2 is having a problem. Stuttgart season 2 is an issue at the moment. Dashing Harry. Let's go. Harry's 5-2-2-1. Okay, let's look at this tactic. Put a libero here. Then, like this. I put a libero here on defense. Yeah. Why do you do that? Or if you wanted to just play a ball playing defender, in that case you just play all as flat. But I rather not. Okay, it's either you don't play with a libero and you go something like ball playing defender, ball playing defender, ball playing defender. That's it. You cover this side, or maybe this guy becomes a white center on defense. Don't use this guy as a libero. Don't send him out. Yeah. The 4-2-4 is good as a low block. Yeah. But low block is about just defending deep. That's it. Yeah. So you're still gonna struggle, in creating tactical chances. Because most people play a low block and they play a low defensive line. Yeah. So Harry, I think if you want to do this, white centre back is here fine. Volante goes up, shadow striker comes up, wing back comes up, right? You can play a white centre back, or if you're bold, right? Go libero, double liberos, and no, not double, triple liberos. All of them are liberos. So this guy is a libero on support, this guy is a libero on support, and this guy is a libero on defense. So you get all three of them coming out. Then they will pay attention to they will move together as a unit. I find that whenever you take like 2-1, you play one libero, one ball playing defender, suddenly everything goes wonky in defense. So I rather have 3, right? Then it becomes quite funky. Nice funky attack. Because I know your situation is you're thinking, I want to keep this side defensive because of the white center back, these 2 roles. So I rather you take that risk than to be defensive. That way, you get better coverage when you're defending. These guys will be this position, this guy will be this position, this guy will be this position, right? All 3. You still be safer. Slightly lower tempo, I remove it. Just play on standard tempo. Don't play on lower tempo. Yeah, just play on standard tempo. If you can't get the ball out, it's just because your players are just bad on the ball. That's it. Yeah, just go with multiple liberos. Yeah, don't go with just one. The problem is you play one libero. Every time there's a counter attack, right? They're gonna get through your lines too easily. It is this way. They're helping you support play, and then you get better transitions building out now. Yeah, but I would play like this instead. Let's see the other tactic. See whether we can get it. Just not with these problems. This. Yeah, it won't. I can't. Can't bring it down. Every time I do, it's like it wants. I don't know what's wrong with this file. All the other files were fine except for this one. He says I'm trying to load multiple files at the same time. Normally I don't have this problem. So something is not working with this folder alone, which is the reason why we couldn't bring everything in. So I don't know what's wrong with this file. Yes, Stuttgart season 2, Electro, your tactic. It's just not working out for us. Yeah. All right. So we did quite a few tactics today on today's stream, and it's that one tactic which is good. Yeah, low block 4-4-2-4. I recall answering the question just now, man. Suddenly blame the memory problems, Some people are getting too old for their own good. Hey, should I play Age of Empires too? No, look. It's growing, no. I'm aging fast. FM24 is making me age, man. I lost a lot of weight this year. I went from 89 kilos in January. No, sorry. I went from 96 kilos in January. Okay. What month is this? September, right? Not 81 kilos. I went from 96 to 81 kilos. I lost a lot of weight this year. I don't know what's going on. I've lost so much weight, man. Anger. Parts of my body are sure I haven't seen in years. Like, holy shit, I didn't know I had that part of the body. Like, wow. That's happening. As I'm growing older, parts of my body coming in. I don't know what to say. So yeah, guys, thanks for coming on today's stream. Thanks for uploading those tactics. It was truly a pleasure looking at some of your tactics. I'm sorry, Stuttgart, your tactic or Electro. I don't know what your handle is, but I could not bring that file in. So, yeah, I should have given you should have been on stream. I don't know if you're still on stream. Okay. All right. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody coming on today's stream. Alian, for your tactics. The guys on Twitch and everywhere else. You guys are beautiful people, man. Gering, waiting for SI to launch Football Manager. I know we're all. I'm graying. I'm getting old. Bloody Football Manager doesn't want to come out. Do you know how annoying it is? It's been a while. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't see. I want to see a lot of things, but you know, I know they have their things that they need to do, right? Get the game into a nice place. Yeah. Okay, guys, I want to thank all of you. You guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. I'm going to give my kids dinner and put them to sleep. Hopefully, they don't roll over in the bed and start calling me up, waking me up in the middle of the night again. Bye-bye.